Good morning, Basque. Happy Wednesday to everybody. We're very excited. Welcome to Coffee Chat here at the Basque. We are featuring the Buchanan Chronicle. We have Rebecka and we have Jen, and they will tell you more about themselves and what they do at the Chronicle. We're very excited to have them here. I appreciate it. Just to let you know that this afternoon we are going to be having orientation over in the exercise room. So if you're interested in learning more about the machinery in there, please come. Missy is going to be doing that orientation. Tomorrow we have walk day. So if you're interested in the walk day, we're going to be over at the East Bank. It's downtown South Bend. Friday is really exciting. Friday we've been working so hard out on the garden and back. We're going to have a ceremony, ribbon cutting ceremony. We're actually going to be, the city's going to be here, and it's going to be a big wapula. So it's exciting. That's at 11 o'clock. So hope that you can come and enjoy. But I'm going to pass it over to Rebecka and Jen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. So we are the Buchanan Chronicle. I'm Rebecca Hoyt, the editor. This is Jen Gary. I'm the publisher. So as you can tell on the screen here, this is our website. So this is what it looks like. We thought we'd take a minute to just walk you through what the website looks like in case you want to navigate it a little bit on your own. Point out some things, how it looks. Yeah. Some of this we've been trying to do with the local picture, different seasons of the year. So we've had a springtime one, and then another late, early spring, and then this one was just taken last month, I believe. I am also a photographer as well, so you'll see a lot of my photos. About us. We started this in March, is when we had our first issue come out this year. The first day of spring we started. Yes. And I'm going to show you our team. Oh, no. Oh, that's fun. Never mind, I guess we won't show you the team. Little technology. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. We'll try this one more. Okay. Here we go. And when you get little pop-ups on the bottom of your screen, so that happens. Here's our team. We have grown a little bit. We have me and Jen on the bottom. This is Jill. She is our nature notes person. This is Tom, my husband. He's also a proofreader and a Now That's Funny. This is Kelly. She does tech tips and a health huddle every now and then. This is Nick. He's our sports writer and some Buchanan history. We also have Garrick Stubblefield, who is our new puzzle guy. He's going to work your brain. He's worked ours a lot already. And he's going to join Nick with sports. And then we have an illustrator / comic person, Madeline Kitchell. She's our youngest on the team. She's going to LMC, majoring in graphic design. So we started, you all remember the paper from before? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I had submitted a couple of photos in the last couple of issues, and I did not know that this was going to be, the last issue until I found out in that last issue, when my photo was in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this paper, and I know a lot of people love it. And I'm like, what am I going to do now to get my photos out into the world, So I thought about it, talked about it over with my husband and friends, prayed about it, and I'm like, maybe it's the time to start a business, this newspaper and online. And so I told a couple of people about it, and they're like, yeah. So I put a poll with my friends on Facebook that are all in Buchanan. And I said, hey, would you like a digital paper or a printed newspaper? What do you think? To start off a business, digital is the easiest. It's the most least expensive, So it was half and half out of the people I asked and who responded. And some wanted digital, some wanted print, they were fine with either one. So I was like, okay. So then I put the word out onto the paper Facebook page about, I want to start a new paper, let me know if you're interested, send me a message. Well, a couple of weeks later, Jen sent me a message.
Yeah, I did. I had, let's see, me and my family, my husband, and I have a son who's just about to turn 4. So I've been just staying at home with him and taking care of him. And then we bought a house last summer here in Buchanan, and we've been loving it. We were from South Bend. And so, we were just love, like, we'd go and get a pizza at Milano's, and we'd pick up the paper from there, and we'd read all about what's going on in town, and we just loved that way of knowing about what's happening, and that the news is very, very local, just relevant to us, sort of here in Buchanan, and just Barron County. And so then we read that last paper on the back, and it said, this is going to be the last one, and we went, oh, what can we do? And I thought, what can I do to help? What can I do to kind of keep this thing afloat if we possibly could? And then I saw her message saying if anybody else wants to, and I was like, me. So I sent her a message, and I was like, I don't really know how I can help, but if I can help anyway, I have a design background. It's a architecture background, actually. So sort of visual design and all that kind of stuff. So I was already sort of familiar with some of the computer programs and things like that we'd be using. So I just contacted her and said, can I help? And so we said, let's just meet. So we met up and just talked about it, and we were like, let's do this. Let's just get this rolling and get it back out there for people to keep reading. And so we had many discussions about like how we were going to do it, but I don't know if there's anything else we have, but I was going to talk about going down online then.
So before when we were starting to meet, we didn't have like a start date of when to do it, and but we were talking about like what topics to cover, and we're like, okay, we're going to be doing these topics, but we kind of need like a deadline of when are we going to put it in, So then this was like in February. We became a business on the 24th of February, and I'm like, well, you know what? This is a new thing. And the first day of spring is on a Saturday this year. How about we start on the first day of spring? So we're like, okay, March 20th, 2021. We've had tons of good feedback from everyone. We've had the occasional, oh, I wish you were in print, and stuff like that. We totally understand it because we both love the print.
We want to be able to really provide that, but as neither of us had ever done that before, that was a lot bigger step and a lot more things involved in getting it printed physically. So we were able to just get the content back out there much faster and easier to do it online that way. And then with the hopes and intent that we would be able to get it back to a physical one, hopefully as soon as we can. We just really wanted to get ourselves up and running again and get ourselves back out there and sharing news as fast as possible. So that's why we did the digital right away, because it was easiest to get off the ground. So, yeah.
And so then we had other people in the community like Nick, guy with the really dark hair. He's one of our younger ones too, but you might see him at Harding's from time to time. He works there. So does Gareth and Madeline. Yeah.
And Gareth and Ellen, yeah.
Yeah. He might wear a Buchanan Chronicle hat from time to time too.
Which one is he?
He's the one behind Jen.
Right there.
Yeah. He normally has a hat on though, but that photo I was like, you have to have your hat off.
Okay.
So we're not always dressed up like this all the time, but just have a nice photo. But we do dress up nicely. So what was it going?
Just saying. He contacted me.
Yes. So Nick had contacted me as well, and he, was like, I love sports and history, And I was like, okay, cool. He's a young guy. He'd probably do well with the high school sports, So we needed more coverage of that. We felt like the other paper hadn't had as much coverage of some high school sports, but we wanted a little bit more in depth. Kelly in the middle here, I went back to college 3 years ago, and I had some classes with her and got to know each other real well. And she's kind of lives in Buchanan, but she's on the very far outskirts of Buchanan. But her kids go to River Valley, and so she is going for an English degree, but also like she wants to be an editor as well. So Jill has written for the paper before, done some nature stuff. So she's very well knowledgeable in that subject. Tom, my husband, he has a full-time job at Bosch, but he loves little stuff to write about, that kind of thing. And he's a good proofreader as well. We also have a 11-year-old daughter, she'll be 12 soon, but she's in middle school. That's about it on that. And we're all volunteers. We do reward our team with special prizes and birthday gifts to them. Right now we've had a competition of when we've been at the farmer's market, we want to guess how many people have visited our booth. And so we take their numbers before the farmer's market starts. And then my daughter's the one that keeps tally on a notepad. She has, this tally marks. And so our first farmer's market was the very first farmer's market of this year because we wanted to get the word out more about us. And I think we had 48 people stop by. And then
And 12 dogs.
And 12 dogs.
Counted the dogs.
This last time we didn't count the dogs though.
Right, yeah.
One
There was more people left.
Yeah. But this last time in July we were there, I think we had 63 people visit us. So the market grew a little bit more in attendance. So then whoever is the closest to that number gets like a $5 gift card to a Buchanan business.
Nutrition or something.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun and to encourage our writers to be more involved with our team so that way they know what's going on with what we want to write about. We enter their names into a drawing and we pull it for every meeting that they attend. And then at the end of the month, we pull a name out and they get either a free set of business cards or a Buchanan Chronicle swag guide for free, a shirt, stuff like that. But so that's their little perks for doing it.
But other than that, we're all volunteer, including us. We volunteer our time to put the chronicles together. Yeah. Let's see.
Were you located at, located in a little, one particular place in town, or
We
you all just get
started.
together for internet, or?
We started meeting virtually, especially because of COVID and because it was cold. And so we started doing all of our meetings through Facebook meetings, video chats, or through, now we do Microsoft Teams video chat meetings. But then we also do them in person. A lot of times we'll meet at her house. She'll have us over for snacks and team meeting. But yeah, we're just kind of all out of our own house. We don't really have a specific location. We do have a P.O. box though, if anybody wants to send us any mail. We have a P.O. box. But no, we don't have an exact location. Any other questions? Shout out, go ahead. We don't have to.
The way they submit the writers submit their articles to be in the paper. There's a thing out there called Google Drive, and it's where you have documents and everyone can have access to who has the link to those. So we do that and we can proofread and edit articles and photos all at the same time. And then Jen does the lovely job of putting them all together to make them go onto the website.
Yeah. As
So,
of the,
Do you ever do paper?
we hope to.
we really
I
have.
think if you charge people, they still would pay for it.
Oh,
Paper,
yeah.
50 cents, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it was very
before.
small. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we were just discussing that and trying to sort of hopefully come together on a little bit more of like a timeline for that, because we do all have that as a goal. We just
Right.
don't have a specific timeline just yet on that, although we really, we're getting there. We're kind of slowly talking about how we can get all the pieces together to do that, because we really want to. Partially for the incidental, you don't think you're looking for the paper, but you see it, you grab it, you read it anyway, and you learn things about the community that
People pay for it.
you wouldn't have to go look
Yeah.
for it.
It was such a
We
popular
want that.
paper.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it
much
really
so.
was.
Yeah.
We used to have the Very Tiny Record a long, long time ago.
Mhm.
You paid
Yeah.
for that.
It's
Oh,
kind of,
and we paid, I mean, I don't know what we paid, $1 for that, but I don't think people would mind paying for it.
Yeah.
No.
that's what we appreciate very much.
Yeah. So you're probably wondering what we like about with the Chronicle. One of my favorite articles recently, I kind of have quite a bit of them. It's ones like that I have covered quite a bit, or you know, some that just stand out. Just recently was the Olympic watch party our team went to, and I got up close and personal up by the stage on the side of it down there, so I had a really good view of Hannah's parents, and I was able to get Hannah's mom's reactions and stuff like that, and you'll see that in the issue this Saturday. And another one that I really liked, what was it?
The maple syrup one, that was back.
Oh. Our very first issue, we had the maple syrup tree tapping. And they're down Lake Street, they're like in Detroit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There were trees, like 7 trees down there, ready to tap and stuff. It was just amazing of what was coming out of those trees and into the buckets. You know, I'd never really seen it that much like it. And then went to the school farm where the kids from the elementary school had their field trip, and you're seeing them enjoy that part. And then so you see it from the tree to the school farm and then to the finished product. Yeah, that kind of thing. You do get to, when you go on these little field trip type things, you get to taste their little samplings that they have. So that was kind of a neat thing to do. And then the people that were in that story that were doing the tree tapping, they were Buchanan alumni. So they had done this tree tapping before when they went to Buchanan. So it's kind of, you know, they're teaching their daughter again about it. You know. So that was really neat. Oh, and then the Buchanan Redevelopment Committee, when the Andrews University came down, that was Jen and I got to go up to Andrews University and see their actual workspace and all of their boards that they had and brought down. And you just saw them working on their computers and in the design programs. So when you get to go on those little field trips, you get a little bit more in depth and understanding of what you're writing about.
Yeah, we just learned so much about different things going on in the community that, you know, you wouldn't know about, or like the tree tapping, like I live on Moccasin, so I'm right next to this Moccasin school, and the trees outside of Moccasin school were all tapped, and I was like, what is this? And then we did the article about it, so I got to go to the farm and watch them refine it into the actual maple sugar, maple syrup, and it's really, really, really interesting. It's just really cool that by doing this, we're getting just to learn so many things about, just anything we want to learn about.
Yeah.
Her being the editor, she's doing a lot of the thinking of stories and organizing what stories we're going to use and sort of saying who's going to write about what and stuff like that. And so she spearheads a lot of that stuff, like just getting interviews and talking to people, and you know, getting an interview with Betty Roberts, with Hannah's mom, just contacting her and saying, we want to talk to you about this and get an interview, so that kind of stuff.
You cover sports also?
Yeah, Nick.
Just in Buchanan or?
For the most part, yeah. I think so far we really just covered some sports history, some sports as they're happening, a little bit through the spring. We were able to do some sports because they were opening some more of the sports for the kids to do. And so hopefully then through the fall, it should be more or less back to normal-ish. So hopefully we'll get a lot more feedback and reporting about sports. Yeah. Really want to highlight the kids, highlight the athletes and have them, something special in their hometown, and before they go off to college or whatever, So
You probably already said this, but is it every 2 weeks or is it once a month?
we didn't say, it's actually the first and third Saturday of every month. So it's kind of every other, but if there's 5, we don't do 3. So yeah, first and third Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, of every month.
Okay.
So this coming Saturday, being the 1st of August, we'll have one out this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now it's just on the internet.
Yes. There's many more steps involved in the physical print part, so we haven't got all that lined up quite yet.
I'm sure the expense of that too is totally.
Yeah.
There is an expense involved, and we are still trying to build ourselves up as a, we're
It doesn't have to be.
donation volunteer business, so we're just kind of still building
And where would
towards
we
that.
donate to?
Us.
Where do we find?
Yeah, just to
Yeah,
us,
just the
or
Buchanan Chronicle, I
you
suppose.
can mail it to us, and
Yeah.
which we have some cards here, and it has our contact information as well.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where did the paper print theirs previously? I mean, could you not hook up with that week maybe somehow?
Yeah.
They have told us where they went through
Okay.
before, yeah, so,
I don't care where, I'm just asking.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be easier for you guys.
Yeah, they have passed on a lot of their information. They were
Yes.
so super happy that we wanted to
Okay.
keep
They were
something
very
going.
helpful.
They were very helpful. They passed along all of their contacts.
Sure.
They did tell us a lot of the print information, like
Okay.
where they got it and stuff. Yeah, yeah. To really try to keep it going. They were very happy somebody wanted to keep it going because they were hoping to, but their lives had changed and they were doing other things, and so they weren't going to keep doing
Well,
it.
would any of the sponsors that sponsored them before be willing to sponsor you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have advertising forms that we've got. We've gone out to a lot of the businesses that they have and seen about advertising.
Okay.
And we still have more of that contacts to make as far as advertising, because that'll help.
I
Absolutely.
think we will too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because they did. In the print form, they had probably 10 or 15, maybe 10
Exactly.
ads each time. So that would be, yeah, exactly. That's part of that cost. Yeah.
Talking about, focusing on the student athletes, we are also in like a collaboration with the schools. Each issue, we're gonna highlight a school. So like the high school will be in, I think, the very first September issue. And then we're gonna go down to the middle school, and then Moccasin, and then Ottawa School, and then also homeschooling will be included in that rotation. So, the second issue of September will be the middle school. But either an art teacher or an English teacher or the principal, whatever is going on in their school that they want to highlight, they send us. And it's either artwork or some just like competition they got going on with the kids.
Yeah, displays in their hallways,
Yeah,
anything that they have going on.
displays.
But yeah, we have contacts started with all of the schools, and so far, for the most part, we didn't get in touch with the high school during the spring semester, but we have a contact now from the high school in their writing department to see if any high schools want to submit writing samples to be in the Chronicle, which I think, hopefully we'll be able to integrate that with them. The school superintendent, she puts in a piece. We've gotten a lot of support, actually. I mean, the mayor, he's been putting in a mayor's memo in our Chronicle every time, almost every time, very close. Which, just a little blurb to the community.
Yep.
What else? A lot of things like that. We've gotten a lot of interactive support.
The safety tips from Officer Bree
Oh, yeah, the police
as a
department. Yeah,
police department.
they submit safety tips to us, yeah.
We get their police call log. I mean, the way it looks like online is the way we get it, so we don't get any like addresses or anything like that. It's just the number of types of calls they get.
Which is,
Yeah. And then we do have from occasion times, people will submit stuff saying, hey, we got this going on, like the Scarecrow Charities and the DAR, the DAR group that's out of Three Oaks. There's a lady in Buchanan that's a part of that. We've had American Heritage Girls, and just recently last night I talked to a Boy Scout leader down at the National Night Out last night. So I gave him my contact info because there's like a kid working on a service project down there at the McCoy Creek. So I was like, yeah, if I don't know about it, it's not going in.
We want to report on
So,
anything, all the things.
yeah, I mean, whatever's interesting to the community, that's what we want to do, and what we think we like to.
We try
That's
to
why.
cover kind of a range of things, events, announcements, but then police call logs, so something kind of facts, factual stuff, but then real interest things too.
Mhm.
Just kind of anything to spread awareness about local businesses, local places to go. And it just really kind of anywhere we can think of, we try to highlight so that there's just more awareness about what's going on.
How
around
far out
Buchanan.
do you go as far as if people were selling things? Where do you go?
So far,
Just-
the furthest has been Three Oaks. We do announcements for Three Oaks or for Niles. That's about as far as we've gone so far, really. It's been very micro, very
Sales
local.
and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
garage sales and
Yeah, we would though. I
estate
think
sales. and-
anywhere in really Berrien County, I think we would include because it's all
Oh,
close
that's
and
fine.
relevant. But
Right.
so far, we really haven't included anything really further than Niles. But
Yeah.
but we definitely could. I mean, because it's all close and something to go do that's not that far. So.
Yeah, that's my daughter's in American Heritage Girls, and they did she did part of a project for her troop, a baby shower for the Pregnancy Care Center in Niles. And, it's called Life Plan now. And so that was a Niles business, but it was the Buchanan troop that meets here at Buchanan Christian Church. And so they, went out there, the troop leader took photos and did a little write-up, sent it in to me. That's the neat little connection I have, when you're involved in a little bit more stuff, you get to know what's around, But yeah, because that was a Buchanan troop, they went out into Niles, we covered it anyways.
I've seen you at commission meetings.
Yes.
Do you receive anything from the clerk, or do you come and get information?
I'm on a subscription list, email list, so I get the agendas and meeting minutes all the time. So I know what's being covered before I actually go to the meeting, which is nice. So, and if you haven't been to a commission meeting, Norma's probably told you to go, but you learn so much.
Yes.
And you get to see more of the personalities of the mayor, everyone that works with the city, and see how they really are you might not have voted for a certain person on the commission, and then you're seeing them more in person, and you're getting to know them, and you're like, oh, they're not so bad, But that's
They
just
don't
how
write.
Right.
No, they're all very nice people. They are. They do a lot. That's one thing you do get an insight of all the stuff when they're in a commission meeting and they have stacks of books like this in front of them. And Sean Dennison, our mayor, was saying they were going to meet on Saturday of that week to go over all that stuff. Well, he has another job too, but he's like, I'm not going to be able to get through all that before Saturday. And that was a Monday night, So he's like, I'm like, wow, that is a lot that they do. So, you do learn a lot about what others do with their jobs when you do this. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take you through about it.
Look through a little bit on the side.
On the website. So here's you can click on contact us right over here. There's a form that you can fill out. It's very light colored. It's just how it is. We were trying to get it better. But you can click in there and it goes to our email, which is right over here. This phone number, and this is our PO box right here. You just do the Buchanan Chronicle as the title, you know, to send it to us. Or if you see us in person, don't be afraid to say something, you know, if it comes across your mind, you know, that kind of thing. But like right here, you can like click on that link, and it will take you into your email, I believe.
Yeah.
And it will. And we have gotten emails through this, and it will say from the BuchananChronicle.com website.
So yeah, that's our main page, just thebuchananchronicle.com. And we just have a beautiful photo from her, and then our list of all the different issues that we've had out. So far we've had 8 this next weekend, 9.
So you'll never miss an issue. So if you want to go back to our very first one, it's right up there at the top right there. Here, I'm just going to click on it, and then you'll have a different picture. No, they don't. Okay.
Then it just lists out all of our
It lists
articles.
all the articles like this. This was fittingly March the local tragedy of the West Wind Apartments that happened on the west side of town. It was kind of a surreal story because one of our writers
Yeah.
lives over there.
Nick lives in
But
those buildings, so he was-
Luckily, it wasn't his apartment that got occupied. So he was able to get photos of the fire and stuff, and then he did the whole write-up because he experienced it all. So when you have that more of a, you know, experiencing it yourself, you have a little bit more better understanding in writing it. You know, he did not interview any people that were affected by it, wanted to respect their privacy.
It was a little too chaotic to do in the moment.
Yeah. This was a piece of artwork that, I don't know if it was that day or the day after. He was walking around and saw this, and it was like a preschooler's artwork. And so we had that in there, and like a week later, I get a message from the mom of the kid that did that artwork. And she asked if we could go back and see if it was still there. Nick had never picked it up, but we have the photo.
Yep.
So he went back and looked and couldn't find it. You know, they had been out there cleaning up. And so Jen tried to upload the photo
just took
and
this
clean it
photo.
up for her.
Cleaned it up, blew it up, made it so it was like crap, so that it was close to being able to have. She didn't have the real thing, but she had a copy, so
So,
I
yeah.
guess it was
Nice.
close. But it was a
Very
nice
nice.
connection that we could make because
Very
you know
nice.
obviously she had lost that completely, and now she has a memory of it. So
Yeah.
it was nice that she could contact us and we could help her. You know.
Yep. And her kid now is like 7 years old, so they were like in preschool when they did that. So that like tugged at my heart
Yeah,
when I
we
heard
always
about
wish
that.
we could help more.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh my. We had Jan Walters from RAM do a quote, 30 units in the building, 24 destroyed, others damaged, 46 persons displaced. Of these, 14 are kids and some pets are also displaced with their families.
So he reported on the story sort of as it was happening, kind of
Right.
as he was there, right? And then almost right away we had the issue out to talk about it. And then in the following issue, we did a follow-up where didn't he talk to Jan some more? And
Yes.
we did a follow-up on what donations they still needed and things like that in the next one. So some things we can report sort of beforehand and some things during and some things after. Yeah, it's a little bit of both, or depending on when it lines up.
I'm gonna go in your
Yeah, you can show the, well, I'm gonna show the second, we should show the,
burn.
I didn't put it in the.
This is our latest issue. Puzzler page. We should probably show you this one. Garrick Summerfield, he is a veteran, and so he also works in the deli department at Harding's. Big, tall guy. But he has this puzzle page. Puzzle one, reducing a letter. So you have to, you take the word that is 6 letters, and you take a letter away to go down to one word.
You see if you, what
Each
you can
time.
reduce it down to.
Yeah.
They almost always reduce down to A or I, because those are the 2 single letter words in English. So they almost all reduce down to that. But he would, yeah, brain teaser stuff, word puzzles and number puzzles.
Yeah. Knowing your states and capitals, sometimes the clue, the answers are in the clue that he gives you. You just gotta think a little bit, but don't think too hard sometimes. This capital is famous for omelets. What kind of omelet do you get at Hilltop Cafe, you know?
It's the name of the capital.
But it's a capital of the state. The Denver omelet, stuff like that.
So
This one, finding a word within a word, fairgrounds. So you're always walking on this. So it'd be the word ground. You go to this event every year when you're a kid, or it's coming up in the summer, the fair.
Right? Is it? No, I changed it.
Okay. Crack the code. Given a 3-digit number, you will answer along each step and end with a different 3-digit number as your answer. When he first did this puzzle to us, we didn't have these instructions in front of us, so he was just telling us as they were. And then when I saw it like this, and I did it myself, and I came with the answer, and then I asked him if that was the answer, and he was yes. So seeing it like this is a lot easier instead of someone telling it to you. But yeah, we all did it as a team one day, and we got like multiple different answers. You just gotta really pay attention to the.
So yeah, this last issue is the first time we did puzzles. We're gonna try to do a puzzle every
Yeah.
issue from now on. So,
Wait,
just little
also,
fun things.
Jen and I also take turns on each issue, a note from the editor or a note from the publisher. So this next issue will have a note from the publisher. We try to focus on what something new might be in our in the Chronicle, or something that's
Yeah, something else. Some business things.
We did local charity. I don't know if you saw down at the Commons or the police department in the last few weeks. What ages are they? 4th and 5th grade, maybe, I think. Kate and Eloise were doing a food drive for RAM, and so they've been doing it for the last 3 years. And so we got them.
Fill a trailer for me.
Yeah. Nature Knows, celebrating when we've heard of people having like milestone birthdays or someone that is kind of well known in the community, we'll highlight them. So that's Mr. Kelly, who has his own business on Redbud. You know,
He was honored at the block party.
yeah.
Block party. So we show them how they post to Facebook. What that looks like, and how we click on that goes into the website.
Yeah.
When our publication comes out, it automatically posts the articles onto our Facebook page. And then we can, from there, share them, link people, stuff like that. And so on that Saturday, we'll have a whole bunch of posts in our Facebook feed for different things. Like this one, River of Life Yoga, when she just opened her space downtown, we got to interview Orica a little bit. There she is. She has heated floors in her yoga space, and it's really nice. really nice. Like, you don't even notice the difference. She has a very beautiful, beautiful yoga space.
And that's what it's like when you walk in first thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. So then this article was then shared to our Facebook, and then we could share it to the River of Life Yoga's Facebook, and she could share it from there, you know, so. But some of the perks of having it digitally is that the connectivity and being able to link it to other businesses and having them be able to digitally share it, things like that. That is nice. As well as the fact that if it's digital and we find a mistake, fixed. It's very easy to fix if it's digital. That's one of the pluses. We found a couple of little oopses here and there and been able to fix them right away, which of course you can't do in print. It is what it is in print.
Mhm. Jen and I were able, this is called
Oh, yeah,
the
there we are.
Lazy Boy, Yoga Lazy Boy. And Bill Curry put us in those positions, and they were very relaxing.
Yeah, we could have napped.
Yeah. We were there for 2 hours talking to her.
It's very long.
Okay.
And then all of her events. If you want, yeah, so then, that's her yoga on common ground.
So if you see how the word is highlighted in a color, or it might be underlined, you can click on that, and it takes you to the Facebook.
Right to the event,
Right
or
to the
to
event.
whatever.
Whatever link it is, the website, you know, stuff like that.
This is a nice little
Like here, it says a follows ticket link, you can do that. Here we got Buchanan Area Senior Center.
There you go, like right
Down
down
there.
there.
So you can click onto that.
Take you straight there. So.
This getting started is a guy in Buchanan that he just started submitting some stuff to us. He has written like some short stories. So it's about his life kind of growing up in Buchanan. I told him I might have to pick his brain for an upcoming story in September for some history, which will be very, if anyone knows anything about Clear Lake, let me know. Because Clear Lake, you do. Have you lived there your whole life?
On my side, not on Fuller's. I live on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an upcoming story we might talk to you.
Yeah.
We have a question. Yeah.
And so we do have a certain length that our writers have to abide by of how many words, because we realize that article is too long. You don't get as many people reading those articles. So we, and this one at the bottom, it says stay tuned to part 2 in the first Saturday of August issue. So we continue that,
Yeah, we definitely welcome opinion pieces and guest writing pieces and things like that. We've had a little bit of that submitted, and we like to showcase that. Like it says there, we try to not edit except for like length and I guess punctuation, grammar, or whatever. But we'd love to showcase. We have a young writer spotlight as well. If we have younger people who want to submit things. Oh yeah, she'll come. Yeah, another new thing. Yeah, one of our writers, she's an illustrator, so she did a little comic strip.
Oh. You'll like her next one. It's very time-fittingly too.
Yeah.
I never know what she's gonna do when she turns in. Also, at the bottom of these, each page has what's related to in past issues. So you could always click on something like community events at the Common, concert series, or the previous post or the next post you can go to as well. So. Okay, so this is our Facebook page. Okay, wait a minute, let me change it to. Oh. Okay, so this is what it will look like when you guys go on. Right now, we have a contest going on our Facebook page. Help us spread the word about the Buchanan Chronicle so more and more people know about it and getting it out there. We have people all over the world actually reading online, and people from cities north of here, Chicago. I have family down in Florida, so I know some have, and out in North Carolina. So we're trying to get up to 1,000 likes. We are currently at
685. How did we get to 685? In the last day, we just added about 50 likes.
Yeah.
Take it.
685. Yeah. So what you do, if you're on Facebook, you share this post right here. And then you can tag someone in a comment, like we have done here. Other people have put, like Ashley Phillips did that. Like there, she put people's names there and stuff. But they have to, when you share it, they have to like this post and like our page. We also keep photos over here, videos. That was my reaction to the, I don't know if you guys, do you want to see it?
The Olympic watch party.
The Olympic watch party.
24 seconds.
It's real short.
This is so cool. We did Percy in the second run with them, and it's just amazing. After her first run, I went back to my family and team, and I was just really emotional. And I don't know if I'm going to be when it's done, but this is amazing. Go get her.
Facebook is a great way for us to be able to do like live in the moment news stuff, to share live videos and stuff, because obviously not only is this going to wait 2 weeks until our issue comes out, so Facebook is a good way for us to be able to do more as it happens news.
Shared your calendar.
We shared your calendar, and we put a post saying we're going to be there. And the night out last night, that was really cool.
And then yesterday I did a thing, hey, do you know where I'm going on assignment? We normally don't tell people where we're going because we want people to stay interested in our stories. And then I want to get to an article of how we posted. This is like, we have a tons of Olympic. If you're on Facebook, you've seen so much Olympic stuff already. There's a lemonade stand, that's the farmer's market event. Here, we also do a Facebook Live with Garrett and Tom and Nick. They just pick a topic and talk about it. You get to know them a little bit more for that.
Just kind of fun stuff, but just another.
And we kind of announce it
another way.
sometimes like that.
We're gonna go live.
Sometimes we don't know exactly when we're going to do it, so that night. And then we share, other stuff.
The other lady here of that article. Yeah. That's one.
So this one, I don't know if you remember the Clark Parker that was in the paper. It was a little dog and it was sitting next to a computer or a laptop. So we adopted him with permission from the ladies of. So if you click on this link, it says the Buchanan Chronicle com.wordpress.com. That is still the same website as the BuchananChronicle.com. It's just how we changed our websites. It'll still take you to the same thing, but here's the Clark Parker.
So that's how an article leaks right out of our Facebook.
Right.
There's the little Clark Barker, I don't know if you remember seeing him in the paper, that little pup was in the paper. And then we asked the ladies if it was okay if we adopt him to the Chronicle, and they said that's great, adopt him. So we've adopted the Clark Barker over to our Chronicle. There he is.
So have you seen the signs? This one was about the brand new no U-turn signs on Front Street. If you haven't seen them, they're there.
They're not doing enough, I don't think, but they're there.
I
don't
saw a
think they're-
U-turn the other day.
I watched someone do it right in front of me, and the sign is not at the intersection of days. It's like, it is if you come this way, but not if you're going west. And so I don't know why, they need one at that intersection.
Uh-huh. And then also, slow down kids playing signs. You don't see a lot of them. You have to like go out on a walk, but this is in the city of Buchanan. I think it's over by the high school, over there. So it's just, the Clark Barker is like, he just a little information, hey, just make sure you're watching out, or, you know, FYI kind of stuff. If you haven't been to the farmer's market in the last couple of weeks, you're probably missing out on some donuts, freshly made.
There is a new
This right
donut vendor
Yeah,
at the farmer's market, and they're called Luna Donuts, and they're amazing, and they fresh make them right there in front of you.
yeah.
Some little cinnamon sugar on top at the farmer's market. They're brand new. They're
I
maybe
thought I could smell them.
the
It could be
first.
the time.
Yeah,
that you
I was
go.
gonna say the first time they did it was the 24th when we were there. It was a couple 2 weeks back, whatever. And they had sold out by what, 10 or 11
Before
or
the
something.
farmer's
Yeah,
market
like
was
pretty early. They had sold all of their batter out already. But there was a test run because it was their first time doing it. But their response was so good, they sold out, that we thought they were going to do it every time. We thought they were there last time because she thought she smelled them, but they could have wrapped early because I don't know how early they. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, they started after 8 o'clock. It wasn't right at 8 o'clock when the
Yeah,
farmer's
they
market
pretty
started, but
they were right by Pear's Mill the first time. I don't know where they are next time. Keep looking for them because I hope
Yeah.
that they're there every time because they were really good when we were doing it.
and they had a long line. I mean, yeah, they're very good.
Might have sold out, hopefully.
We'll be at the
Keep an
farmer's
eye out.
market again in September,
We're gonna do another
on
booth.
the 25th. So this is what our booth looks like. We do have some Chronicle swag that you can purchase from us, which will help us to get our funds growing to print the newspaper. And,
Yeah, we make t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and polos and hats and buttons and
we have
stickers.
face masks.
Yeah, I have my face.
And then we put little reminders on here from the city. I actually had a neighbor ask me, "Hey, when do they do the yard waste pickup and stuff like that?" So I emailed the city and I said, normally I haven't seen a Facebook reminder like for a long time. And so after that happened, they shared it on Facebook, and so I was like, I bet had I not just asked them, they probably wouldn't have
Got to
shared it probably, so we put those kind of things. If we have an event, like us being at the farmer's market, we'll put an event on here as well.
Try to show this one.
This is the map for the waste room service that's happening this week. That's you guys.
Yeah.
We also have the girl that runs the farmer's market. She does a write-up normally, and we put it in every Saturday issue.
She likes to feature a particular vendor and
Yeah.
highlight a vendor. That time she was highlighting the coffee guy.
And he's there every Saturday. He's got good coffee. You guys have any questions, comments?
I don't know if there's anything else, but.
Any ideas of what we could write about or showcase? Yeah,
Dollar Ride,
Dollar Ride? Okay,
it's available
city.
You're so right. Yeah, that's so true. I've seen it around and I haven't necessarily known clearly how to get it. I'm sure you just call the number, huh? So I guess we should put something about that. Alert everyone. Good call.
Well, I hope everybody got a little educated on the new digital newspaper here in the city. Thank you so much. I just really want to point out how much time that they spend as volunteers and the people who are doing the editing and everything like that, that they are not being paid anything to bring the news to you, the events to you. So just keep that in mind when you are reading the paper, and if you need to make any kind of donations, I'm sure they would appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
And we are looking forward to what comes unfolding for you ladies and the team.
Right.
And, there, as you can see, there's a huge interest for paper. So, hopefully one day that is going to be the next result of what's going. And like she said, if you guys have any kind of suggestions on articles, please let them know. If you need to get in touch with them, you're not sure how, give me a call and I can get you hooked up with them. Thank you so much, everybody. We do appreciate both of you, Jen, Rebecca. Thank you, and sending you guys the best of luck on this new adventure. It's a huge journey. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,